I have spent my entire life. I mean, my dad, dude, when I used to be 5 years old, my dad he always used to call me Eagle Eyes, because he'd be like, how did you see that? We'd be walking, I'd be like, look, garter snake. And he'd be like, I didn't see that. In the jungle, it's just become more and more and more and more amplified. And then when you're guiding for people, it matters. And then when you're trying to survive, it matters. And so you turn that sense up and up and up and up. And again, the first time you play ping pong, you suck at it. And the ball goes everywhere, and then you get to the point where you got a good chop shot, and you got an overhand, and at this point, I have this. Also, when you're tracking or when you're out in nature, you tend to look at the environment differently. You look at it like it's a TV screen, so you're not focused on any one thing. You're just sort of, and so then irregularities pop out at you. And so if there's branch, loopy branch, snake, matte colored, bark, shining scales. Snake, it's like you start to, snakes are so hard to see, which is why I'm obsessed with trying to find them. But even as you walk through the forest, I always say the birds will tell you how fast you can walk. The speed at which you can walk is determined by the sound of the forest. And that is because there's moments that you're walking through the forest and the sun is out and there's just spokes of light coming through and all the birds are chirping and there's bees flying around and it's the afternoon and everything's great. And then the jungle, 10 minutes later, all of a sudden it gets a little bit darker and all of a sudden the birds get real quiet and everything changes and it seems like there's not a thing moving. And is that because there's a weather system about to come in? Is that because... And sometimes you go, well, the birds over here are doing fine. It's just the birds over off to my left that have gone quiet. And it's like, well, is that because there's a jaguar walking through the valley right there and everybody up here is still having a good time? But, sometimes everybody goes quiet and then you start to hear, you're like, it sounds like there's a stampede of freight trains somewhere just over the horizon. And you know that there is a thunderstorm of biblical proportions coming. And so you're standing in the sun still, but everybody's quiet. And in the Amazon, there's individual clouds over different pieces. Just think of this giant field of green. And these clouds are just an individual. It's like motherships and, in Independence Day. They're just over and they dump straight down. So if you're outside of that rain shadow, you're great. If that cloud is moving and just soaking the jungle as it goes, you might be under golf ball size raindrops.
You're giving me PTSD, bro.
Dude, it is that night.
Yeah.
The leaf cutter at night.
And he goes, oh my God. I'm like, what? I'm like, turn right towards him, but I can't see him. He's like, there are 10 million leafcutter ants. Julian, you are next. They are right up. He goes, they are right up against your tent. And I'm like, what the fuck? Get him out of there. He's like, Julian, there are too many of them.